Hello, my name's Dr. Karen Fisher. I'm lucky enough to be a staff specialist in drug and alcohol services here at Nepean Blue Mountains Local Health District. Many people don't want to sit next to me at dinners because they think that I'm all about addiction, but rather I'm around the quality use of the sort of substances we put in our bodies. People are starting to wonder around the sort of medications and substances that they're using as part of their everyday life. For me, one of the concerns we have is that things that you used to be able to tolerate when you were 30 and 40 perhaps are not as easy on the body when you're 50 and 60 and 70. And learning to understand how best we can manage the side effects and the uses of that are the reasons why we're talking about medication use in the older consumer. Suddenly something happens when you're 40, 50, 60. Those things that we used to use that we didn't have any problems with at all begin to have different effects and different ways of being lived with as we put them into our bodies. And it's really important that we begin to think about these different stages of us as we reach different decades of our life. One of the beauties of modern medicine is that we've actually learnt to use medications on a daily basis to manage illnesses that used to cause us huge problems in our daily lives. That's fantastic when we use them properly and when we understand how to actually take them and what their effects are going to be on our body. It may just be that because I'm a drug and alcohol doctor, I'm incredibly conservative about what we put into our bodies, but there is actually no safe tablet that you can take regularly without thinking about what you're doing. So the message for us is let's really think about the sorts of things that we're using and why we're using them. And the best thing you can do for your body is actually cancel out medications that you don't need. Any extra tablet that you're taking that's probably past its usefulness to you is a tablet that's going to be gotten rid of and giving you huge benefits as you take them out of your daily routine. And it stops you experiencing some of the worst side effects of medications that really do change as we begin to age. Really having a look at how many medications you're taking and thinking about how to use them safely. That can include making sure you understand whether to take them with your meals, making sure to understand that one's great, no, 3 is not better. All those sort of really simple tricks are increasingly important as we're confronted with a fairly dazzling array of things that can make us feel so-called well on a daily basis. So please ask us questions. If we're going to ask you to take something regularly, you ask us about what it's going to do to you, how best we'd like you to take it, for how long we're asking you to take it, and whether or not it's got any side effects or ways that it's going to interact with your love of cheese, for example, or that glass of red wine you're having with your dinner. We'd love to hear from you about all sorts of pills that you're taking into your body, even the ones that are so-called natural remedies. So everything from that valerian tablet you've picked up at the health food store through to the super protein powder that you've bought on the internet, let us know. Often these things in combination have very different effects to what you actually experience when you use them by themselves. So if you find, on the other hand, that your doctor's always busy, there's another person we can always talk to. As a doctor, we've been saved many times by using the benefit of our pharmacy department. They're the real experts on how drugs work. And if you want a much gentler approach to say, I actually couldn't understand what that doctor was talking about, can I bring this pill in and have a chat to you about it? They're your go-to person. The other thing to say is that sometimes we have extra medication, and in the interest of sharing and helping out, we may be tempted to give them to our friends. What I'd caution you around is there are pretty stringent use-by dates. It's really not a good idea to take someone else's medication. Go and have a chat to your GP or your pharmacist and direct your friend to say, go and get yourself checked out.